All right, let's do this. Hi, I'm Rob the accountant. I like to help people build companies while finding solutions to problems that may come your way. Have a question? Stop by robtheaccountant.com, scroll halfway down, and send me an email. How's everybody doing today? I want to jump right into this. So, what I want to do real quick is talk about we have some political environments coming up. We have the New York City mayor's race here. I'm sure there's a lot of elections going on in a lot of other states. We have some rioting going on in California, which is probably all initiated by the Democratic Party there. So Gavin Newsom can sue Trump, make himself look like he's there for the small people, even though he kicked out all the homeless people when President Xi from China visited. But I want to talk today about Blue Diamond almonds. So let's really just listen to about a minute and 10 seconds here, and then I'll jump back in.
Staple of our agricultural landscape is making a significant move that could leave many local workers facing uncertain futures. Blue Diamond Growers, a company that has called Sacramento home for more than a century, is shutting down its Sacramento plant. Around 600 employees are affected.
ABC 10's Garjpal Sangh explains why the company is making this decision and why some economists say this is a wake-up call.
It is a decision that came as a shock to some. A plant considered a Sacramento icon ending a 115-year chapter later this year and impacting nearly 600 employees in the process.
One of them is about gaining efficiencies, and this is one way that we're able to do that.
Blue Diamond says it is expensive and inefficient to keep its main plant that is so close to neighborhoods and downtown.
The cooperative will gain efficiencies by consolidating our processing operations into the Salida and Turlock plants in the Central Valley.
Blue Diamond says it is offering severance packages, relocation opportunities, and incentives to stay during the transition.
All right, so what does this mean? Well, this means the people of Sacramento have cost this company too much money. And this is a problem. This is a problem we got to keep talking about, because one of the issues that we have, I know here with our mayor's race here in New York City, is we have these politicians that just keep proposing, let's send the minimum wage up, let's send the minimum wage up, let's send the minimum wage up. But realistically, the minimum wage was never supposed to be there for you to be a career. It wasn't there for you to my first job at McDonald's was, I believe, $1.85 an hour. It wasn't meant for you to be flipping burgers for 30 years and suddenly make $50,000. It was just not realistic. The other thing is, when we look at, like the Democratic side, always proposing more wages, and that's the problem. We should talk about the fact that this company, Diamond, had just 8 years ago remodeled its whole manufacturing plant, brought in upgrades and technology upgrades to make things more efficient. But yet fundamentally what happens is we have these political environments that ebb and flow. And each time somebody wants to run for office, what they do is they find a way to go after somebody or some company, or something's wrong and we've got to fix it. But what I'm saying to you is we need to stop putting people in office who don't know what they're doing. For example, let's look at, the current Senate bill in New York State right now, with its number one purpose, so to speak, is making life more affordable for working families. So how does New York intend to do that? Well, if you're married and you have income up to $150,000, which again, I'm not really sure, that's really a lower income working family. Sure, it's a working family, but hey, if you meet that bar, they're going to give you $400, a rebate. And if you're single, up to $75,000, which, in this state, you can barely live on, you can barely afford housing, you can barely have anything, because what we don't talk about is that single filer will lose nearly $30,000 in both federal and state income taxes before they're able to live. So the single filer, oh great, you're going to drop another $200. This is what the great Senate of New York puts forward, which I would like to remind everybody in the country that New York State has two legislatures, has the House, the Assembly, and it has the Senate. And between those two houses, they actually make up more members than the United States Congress. Think about that. The United States Congress is in charge of 380 million plus people. New York State's in charge of 24 million people, and their two forms of government exceed that of the federal government. And so the other thing I wanted to do is just on the other side is to bash Trump a little bit is when we're looking at like where manufacturing really is. Manufacturing's huge in America. Like somewhere along the line, we have been sold once again a lie that, all this is down, Debbie Doomer, Debbie Downer, the jobs are going away, China's going away, everybody else is, killing America. We're being taken advantage of, but realistically, we're doing pretty good. What the issue is that you have a smaller amount of people working in manufacturing at a higher specialized skill set. So back in the day when it was GM manufacturing and they're making cars, you just needed the guy to sit there and put the tire on all day long. And he's in on a manufacturing line, but all he's really doing is putting the tire on. Well, we don't need that anymore. We have the robot that's putting the tire on the machine. So what do we need is we need more specialized people to program the robots. So the majority, I just wanted to go through a couple of these points. Look at 2.94 trillion. For every $1 spent, there's a total impact of $2.64 to the economy. Firms are definitely small. And I think this is the 13 million manufacturing workers, that I think at America's best years was closer to 50 to 60 million. And so that's down quite a bit, but that's still a lot of people. I mean, it's not a ton of people, and it's not even a drop in the bucket relative to the positions of the overall economy, but that's still a lot of people that are out there working in a manufacturing environment, and those people actually earn pretty good income. So if I were a parent today, what I would do is help my child to either focus on something in a specialized industry or only go to school for medical or engineering or the sciences. Outside of that, I just think what we need to do so that America as a whole can stop seeing companies like this beautiful diamond almond company that is going to, terminate 600 jobs. I think we need to ask our politicians all over the country, including Bernie Sanders, to stop dictating what the terms of employment are. If you haven't run a business, and again, Cuomo, you're a great governor here and there, bad and good, but I don't believe you've run a business. So until you have to run a business, pay for workers' comp, pay for health insurance, find a product to sell at a profitability so you can pay that worker, I think this whole idea of going out and constantly asking people or businesses to pay people more, and that we have to create this living wage is one of the reasons why fundamentally today you go to pretty much any McDonald's in the country and a Big Mac meal is going to run you $10 to $15. I'm Rob. Have a great day. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for now. Hope you pay attention a little bit. I hope you can demand a little bit more of your politicians, but at least stop blaming others for the problems that corporate America is having in this environment. Corporate America is having problems. Yes, they're greedy. Not going to lie, they're greedy, okay? But they have a lot of problems because our politicians are going out there and pretending that they know their business, they know what they're doing, and they know best. We need to cut that shit out and just let people who are versed in what they're producing and the things that they're making and the people they're employing, let them be the final deciders of those things. I'm Rob. Have a good day again. Bye for now.